Hello everybody, welcome to Mr. Morrow's Algebra class. Today we're going to be talking about lesson 1-2, the order of operations and evaluating expressions. In order for me to really do a good job here, I'm going to start everything off with talking about exponents and powers. It's very important for you to understand these concepts. So for example, exponents or powers. When you have 2 to the third power here, okay, you have this big 2, this is called the base. And you have this 3 on the top right corner of the number or the variable, and that's going to be called the exponent. What the exponent of the power tells you to do, okay, tells the reader how many times to multiply the base by itself. So when I have 2 to the third power here, that means 2 times 2 times 2. It means 2 times itself 3 times. So 2 to the third power is going to equal 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. So that's an exponent or power. Okay? Very simple, very easy to work with. Now, reading exponents. You always read as follows. It's the base to the blank power. So for example, base is 3, exponent is 4. So I have 3 to the 4th power. I have x and an exponent of 2. That is x to the 2nd power. If I have 5 and a 5 as an exponent, I have 5 to the 5th power. Okay? So, that's easy enough. Now there are 2 exceptions. When the power or the exponent is 2, it's read as squared. When you have the power of 3, or the exponent is 3, it's read as cubed. So when you have a base of 4 and an exponent of 2, it's really read 4 squared. When you have a base of 8 and an exponent of 3, it's really read 8 cubed. Okay? And we know how to read them, and we know how to recognize exponents or powers. So, let's see what we got here. 10 to the 7th power. That means 10 times itself 7 times. So that means it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. If I have 3 to the 4th power, that's going to be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is going to be 81. I have 1/2 cubed. That's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. And that's going to equal 1/8, because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 0.2 squared, that's going to be 0.2 times 0.2, which is going to equal 0.04. 2/3 cubed, that's 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. 2/3 times itself 3 times, which is going to be 8/27. Now, -3 squared. This is very, very important. Only the 3 is being affected by the 2 in this case. So what this is really saying is a -1, which is this negative, times 3 squared. So this really equals -1 times 3 times 3, which equals -9. Now that's very different from this. -3 inside the parentheses squared. The exponent always affects the number immediately to its left or everything inside of the parentheses. So -3 in parentheses squared would be -3 times -3, which equals +9. Please be careful with that, okay? Now, -3 cubed. The -3 is not in the parentheses, so this is read as -1 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is going to equal -27. Negative on the outside, 3 to the 4th power. So it's going to be, again, a negative 1 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that's going to be negative 81. And now I have negative on the outside times the negative 3 inside the parentheses to the 4th power. So what that's going to equal is this negative 1 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9, times a negative 3 is a negative 27, times a negative 3 is a positive 81, but times this negative 1, you're looking at negative 81. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, let's talk about using the order of operations. We got to simplify each of these expressions. Okay? Now, okay, sorry about that. I want you to use the order of operations, but I forgot to teach you the order of operations. Sorry about that. It was at the bottom of this page. All right. Now that we've talked about exponents, let's talk about the order of operations. The order of operations we're talking about, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please stands for parentheses. All the operations in the parentheses are completed first. Then excuse represents exponents. You perform all exponent operations second. My dear, that's multiply and or divide in order from left to right. Please be careful with that, left to right. And then my Aunt Sally is add and subtract in order from left to right. So again, number 1, P, parentheses. Perform any operations inside grouping symbols such as parentheses, brackets, braces, or absolute value first. Excuse, exponents. Simplify powers or exponents second. My dear, multiply and divide in order from left to right. And Aunt Sally, add and subtract in order from left to right. Okay, now let's go ahead and practice using the order of operations. I've got 6 minus 2 squared divided by 2. So I have parentheses, so I'm going to first simplify my parentheses. I'm going to have 4 squared divided by 2. Now I have exponents, so 4 squared is 16 divided by 2. And now I'm only left with division. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, I have 5 times 7 minus 4 squared divided by 2. I don't have any parentheses, but I do have exponents. So I have 5 times 7. Be careful with this negative. This is just minus 4 squared. Remember, only the 4 is activated here by the exponent. So that's 16 divided by 2. Now be careful here, okay? Sometimes people are tempted to subtract here first or to divide first. No, no, no. Go from left to right. We're going to do multiplication and division in order from left to right. So 5 times 7 is 35 minus 16 divided by 2, which is 8. 35 minus 8 is going to be 27. Okay, number 3. I have 2 to the 4th power minus 1 over 5. Okay, well, we're going to first work with the exponents because I don't have any parentheses. So I'm going to have 2, 4, 8, 16 minus 1 over 5. Now, I did this example on purpose. A lot of times people get confused with what to do here. Even though it's not technically part of the order of operations, it's not specified in an example, whenever you have an operation on the numerator, okay, that kind of acts like a parenthesis. So you have to first calculate the numerator before you divide. So 16 minus 1 is going to be 15 divided by 5, which will equal 3. Please pay attention to that example. Now I have 5 minus 2 cubed divided by 3. Okay, so I have 5 minus 2 inside of the parentheses, so that's 3 cubed divided by 3. Now exponents. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3 divided by 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27 divided by 3 equals 9. Order of operations. Okay, let's check out some more practice here. All right, let's run through these kind of quickly, but this way we can get some more examples. 3 plus, times 6 plus 7. Well, I have parentheses here, so this is going to be 3 times 13, so that's going to be 39. I got 5 times 3 times 2. That's just multiplication. It's going to be 30. I got 72 divided by 9 plus 7. Please do not add first. Follow the order of operations. 72 divided by 9 is 8 plus 7, and that equals 15. 2 plus 7 times 5. Please do not add first. Follow the order of operations. Multiply and divide in order from left to right, then add and subtract. So this is going to be 2 plus 7 times 5, which is 35, and that's going to equal 37. 9 plus 8 minus 7. 9 plus 8 is 17 minus 7. We're looking at 10. 9 minus 32 divided by 4. Please do not subtract first. Follow the order of operations. This is going to be 9 minus 32 divided by 8. 32 divided by 4, which is 8, and that equals 1. I got 5 times parentheses 10 minus 1. So this is 5 times, calculate the parentheses first, that's 9. So that's going to be 45. I got 48 divided by 4 plus 4. So parentheses first. So that's going to be 48 divided by 8, which equals 6. Okay? I'm going to erase these because I got to pull down the board. Just do a couple more. Okay. 20 divided by, we're looking at 9. 20 divided by parentheses 4 minus parentheses 10 minus 8. Okay, let's follow the order of operations. 20 divided by 4 minus the first parentheses, 10 minus 8 is 2. Then I'm going to have 20 divided by 4 minus 2, which is in parentheses, which equals 2, and that's going to be 10. Okay, let's go ahead and look at 12. It's going to be 5 plus 16 in parentheses first, that's 21, divided by 7 minus 2. 21 divided by 7 is going to be 3 minus that 2 equals 1. Just follow the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Hope you guys understand that. Okay, let's move on. And of course, I don't know if you checked it out, but I'm on kudasoftware.com. So if you go online, you can practice as much as you like, and they do have an answer key. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, evaluating expressions. You evaluate an algebraic expression by replacing each variable with a given number. Then you simplify the expression using the order of operations. So there's nothing really new here except you're just plugging in values that they give you. So for example, what is the value of the expression for x equaling 5 and y equaling 2? Well, I've got x squared plus x minus 12 divided by y squared. Well, x represents 5. So this is 5 squared plus 5 minus 12 divided by 2 squared. Now you just follow the order of operations. You've got 25 plus 5 minus 12 divided by 4. So that's going to equal 25 plus 5 is 30. So that's going to be 30 minus 12 divided by 4. And then I have 30 minus 12 is 18. So that's going to equal 18 divided by 4, which is going to equal 4.5. Actually, no, that's wrong. Sorry about that. It's going to be 9/2. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is 4.5. Okay. Let's look at example 2 now. 3 times x, well, x is 5, minus y, which is 2 squared. So follow order of operations. Exponents before you multiply or divide or add or subtract. So I've got 3 times 5 minus 4, which is going to equal 15 minus 4, which is going to equal 11. Okay. About number 3. Find the value of xy squared. Remember, hint, hint, the 2 here, the power of 2 is only affecting the y. Okay? Only affecting the y there. Just a little hint. For when x equals 5 and y equals 2. And then I want you to compare your results to xy in parentheses being squared. What can you conclude? Well, let's look at the first one. We'll do it in blue. Xy squared. Well, x is 5, so that's 5 times y is 2, 2 squared. Following the order of operations, I've got 5 times 4, which equals 20. Notice what happened here, gentlemen. The power of 2 only affected the y, okay, not the x. Now, in the other example, parentheses, x times y in parentheses squared. This is different. In this case, x is 5, and it's being multiplied to the y. Remember that when you have two variables next to each other, and there's no addition or subtraction sign in between, that represents multiplication. So times y, which is 2 squared. Follow the order of operations. 5 times 2 is 10 squared. So that's 10 times 10, which is 100. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. So what can we conclude here about the difference? What I had already told you. The power of 2 affects everything to its immediate left. So in this case, it just affected the y. Okay, let me erase that and show it a little bit better. The power of 2 only affected the y. But in this case, the exponent also affects everything inside of the parentheses. So that's the difference. All right, let's just do a couple more practice problems, and I'll let you go. All right, so I've got y divided by 2 plus x, and use x equals 1 and y equals 2. Well, y equals 2, so this is 2 divided by 2 plus x, which is 1. So that's 2 divided by 2 is 1 plus 1. That's going to equal 2. A minus 5 minus b. Well, a, they say, is 10. Minus 5 minus b, which they say is 4. 10 minus 5 is 5. Minus 4 is 1. P squared plus m. P is 5. So 5 squared plus m, which is 1. So that's going to equal 25 plus 1, which is 26. Y plus 9 minus 6. Y equals 3 plus 9 minus x, which is 1. So I got 3 plus 9, which is 12, minus 1. It's going to equal 11. Okay, we'll do 2 more. M plus p divided by 5. M is 1 plus p, which is 5, divided by 5. Well, remember the order of operations. You do not add first, you divide first. So this is really 1 plus 5 divided by 5, which is 1, and that's going to equal 2. Okay, last one. Y squared minus X. Y equals 7. So I've got 7 squared minus X, which is 7. Order of operations, we're talking about y, 7 squared, so that's 49 minus 7, which equals 42. Hope you guys have learned a lot today. Have a great day, and thank you very much.